Defense News, 11th of April 2023, a strong navy and sea power are necessary to combat Communist China. Great power rivalry has returned in recent years, primarily between China and the United States. Our leaders have finally realized what they had no right to forget: conflict always results from human nature's inability to change and the thirst for conquest. Our eyes have been opened, yet we are still dreadfully unprepared. The troubling disparity of military resources was evident on March 28 when U.S. Navy Secretary Carlos del Toro told the Senate Committee on Appropriations, "By 2028, we will have around 291 ships. I don't know how many the Chinese will have, although estimates range up to 440 or so." In other words, China is quickly approaching overtaking America as the leading naval power in the world. Alfred Mahan, a naval theorist, once claimed that whoever controls the waves controls the world. Furthermore, the Chinese Communist Party, a despotic government that deliberately works to profit itself at America's cost while committing physical genocide, rules China. The laws of international politics would alter if Beijing were to surpass the US, and not for the better. This would not only result in a shift in who leads the world. This is true regarding trade and diplomacy, but it is especially true regarding our Navy. Few people get or appreciate the reality that our ships provide freedom of travel on vast seas and defend allies and partners from invasion. The U.S. Navy has fought piracy, outlawed extortion, and ensured that almost every nation could trade for decades without expecting anything in return. That will end if Beijing utilizes a more potent force to challenge our maritime dominance. Beijing wants to accomplish this. The need for a decisive naval force has been underlined by Chinese Communist Party General Secretary Xi Jinping, who said, "The strongest nations are victorious at sea, those in decline are weak." The People's Liberation Army should concentrate on the maritime military struggle to accomplish China's geopolitical goals, according to China's 2015 Defense White Paper. Beijing has also repeatedly defied maritime law, advancing its illegitimate claims and obstructing the free movement of innocent parties in the South and East China Seas with everything from fishing boats and artificial islands to warships and fighter jets. However, only one of China's 13 naval shipyards has a more productive capacity than the combined output of the 7 U.S. shipyards. Given that some government members appear content to export all home manufacturing, this is not very shocking. Despite our meager resources, maritime dominance has enormous, almost inestimable benefits. Given the stakes of this conflict, does the Biden administration need to intervene? The answer is yes. We find ourselves at another such inflection point, said Secretary del Toro, one that demands we renew our commitment to naval primacy as we chart a course through this century of intense maritime competition. However, based on the fact that his budget request for the Navy and Marine Corps is around 2% below inflation, President Joe Biden missed that memo. In other words, the Navy is already losing ground, and the White House wants to decrease its funds. It makes no sense when the manufacture of the Virginia-class submarine is significantly behind schedule and that of the Columbia-class submarine is 10% behind schedule. The way the American Department of Defense invests the money it does have is another issue in this situation. The Pentagon has been spending more taxpayer money on obscure experiments carried out by outside contractors under the pretense of research and development rather than investing the money for essential projects like shipbuilding. In summary, the government can and should fund technical advancement, but not at the expense of economic growth. We must avoid the over-specialization pitfall that felled our adversaries in the past. America's ability to outwork and outproduce the Axis on the factory floor helped it majorly win World War II. Our policymakers must rearrange their priorities and speed up shipbuilding if they hope to preserve American maritime dominance and all the advantages it delivers to the American people and the rest of the world. As President Theodore Roosevelt famously observed, a good navy is not a provocation to war. It is the surest peace guarantee. If that's the case, we're just asking for trouble. That needs to alter.